Hello, Sanbanani, Dumilang, Molweni Mzansi Africa, and welcome to Expressions. Nimlokalo sakalubisi, the brightest star unonkanyezi. Kanti Mongameli Mzansi Africa will deliver the State of the Nation address to a joint sitting at the National Assembly and the National Councils or Council of Provinces. Khona kaloku nge-12 kaFebruwari kulo nyaka ka-2026. Kanti ke mbukeli silandela ngqo yona isona lezayo. Kunjalo nje Expressions siyabuza into bangaba will Sona 2026 give a clear indication of how government is going to tackle challenges abanabacha abajamelene nazo. Xa sijonga kule minyaka yangaphambili ingaba na izithembiso umongameli awazenza zifeziwe kusini na. What is in the pipe if we are to respond effectively to the needs of young people? Masirhabule sifinxe. Ifike yagaleleka mbukeli isona. Kanti ke to help me unpack this discussion in studio, we are joined by Gcobani Nzongoma, who is an activist. On Hybrid, we are joined by Unzali Mathebula, who is a political activist and political commentator at UNISA. Nzali, good afternoon and welcome to Expressions. Dingagli walanga Gcobani, thank you so much for joining us. Gcobani ndifuna uqala ngawe because you are a youth activist, and I mean from your consultation view, zininzi izinto abanabacha abakhwina ngazo, and I love the fact that you are coming from Cape Town apho isona izawuthi isingathwe khona. Bakhwina ngantoni abanabacha? Kunjalo nje xa sijongile le sona izawukwazi into yokubana ijongane nezinto abatsha abakhala ngazo.
Yeah, mandithathe lithuba qala ndibulele kuni ngokuni-invite, ndibulele kuba babukele emakhaya. Abantu abatsha i-expectations zabo ezininzi isikakhulu kukuloko bundlobongela obugqwesileyo kwi-community zabo, i-crime engalawulekiyo, i-drugs ezikhona kwi-community zabo, zingxaki ezo zinto ezo. Definitely ke nento yoba imisebenzi yabo basaqashwa ngoku kuqeshwa abami bangaphandle. Loo nto leyo i-challenge enkulu kakhulu kubantu kulutsha lakuthi. So ezo zinto zizinto abazikhalelayo. At the end of the day ufumaniseke uba emakhaya again imasipala irent too much, abazali bakwazi ubhatala irent, kucinywa imibane, kuvalwa amanzi. So i-situation ekuphila kuyo, so into yentswelangqesho yongabikho kwimisebenzi yeyona nto yingxaki ebantwini bakuthi.
And mawuthetha ngokusetyenziswa kwemipu iyothusa kakhulu because just recently ingaphaya kwe-400 efunyenweyo illegally ezandleni zabantu abatsha. Nzali, I want to come to you because I mean this Sona address comes at a time, you know, when we see that the unemployment rate is super high. I mean, we are looking at 58.6% of unemployment among young people. There are many crises, you know, that young people are facing on the ground. And we do understand that tomorrow the president will be having a roundtable discussion where young people will be engaging. This is organized by the NYDA. What do you think are some of the key issues that should be raised by young people in that discussion?
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm sorry I couldn't join you guys physically, but I hope I'll be able to give some of my insights on this matter. So firstly, I think more than anything is the unemployment crisis that many young people are facing, because they feel like they're being excluded from the economy, from the social setting, and this, to a certain extent, tends to have a very bad impact on the social fabric of the country, but not only that, but the future of the country, because when you have young people not being engaged in many of the things and participating in the economy, the society of the country, it becomes a challenge, because those are the people that we are looking out to for them to be our leaders tomorrow. It's like, so with them not being engaged, it becomes a challenge for them to even know how to take the country forward. So more than anything, unemployment should be the first. And also the addiction that you find amongst young people themselves. You know, I think that's also a critical one, because you are losing so much brain power due to the addiction that we are seeing in the country. So I think economic participation and to a certain extent, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, and ndiyafuna ukuza gcwabani because kudala kusenziwa izithembiso even 2024 kwaze kwathiwa kunotintswalo a character umongameli weli ayisebenzisayo as umntwana othe waxhamla to the fruits of our democracy. Ndiqinisekile ngoku kulo nyaka utintswalo una 32 years kodwa kusekude engqinibeni. Ungatsho mhlawumbi into yokubana urhulumente weli has failed to produce a true democracy for abantu abatsha 32 years later.
Yeah, ufeyile kakhulu because ingxaki urhulumente wethu esinayo ne-politicians zethu esinazo zi-theoretical, so abekho pragmatic, which means zonke izinto abazenzayo bayathetha, baguda apha ekuthetheni, ukwenza izpeeches, uhlala kwii-boardrooms, always baze nee-plans ezingekhoyo, but at the end of the day abakwazi ubeka izinto ezi-tangible apha abantu batsho banokwazi ubenefita khona. Umzekelo, kule 32 years bekusuppose uba isininzi, which is abantu abamnyama esiyi-population, bekumele uba ngabona abantu abakontrola i-economy yaseMzantsi Afrika, but nangoku i-economy yalapha isakontrolwa lugcuntswana, nto leyo ibangele ukuba urhulumente wethu afeyile, ngoba neliphini ilizwe alikho ilizwe umnotho wakhona okanye ezezimali apho zisilawulwa khona yi-minority. Ezomnotho zilawulwa ngabantu abayi-majority.
Economic divide. And ndiyafuna ukuza kuwe Nzali because I mean he's raising something very important esiyibona into yokubana there is economic divide among young people. I mean we hear about digital skills training but we don't hear about any access. Looking at this Sona 2026, what concrete steps do you think should be taken to ensure that there are tangible solutions, not just ukuthetha? Nzali, are you on the line?
Oh, yes, I am. Sorry, I wasn't muted.
Okay.
So thank you for the question. But more than anything, I think the first step is then to look at this from a futuristic perspective, because what we are dealing with now, this is a challenge that was supposed to be devised or solved back in 1994, meaning that the government didn't prepare for this at this point. They didn't prepare for the democracy to have expanded to this point and for the economy to be at this level. As such, you have an economy that is so contracted, while graphics do not fit within that economy, and none of them, or not all of them, can participate. So I think the first step would be to actually ensure that we prepare for 10 years from now. We know how the economy should look like, how it should be shaped, and how young people should be part and parcel and participating in that economy from a futuristic perspective. Because if we are going to have short-term solutions, this is where we get ourselves, whereby we have saturation at some point and we have challenges that we are unable to solve because they are quite expired. These are challenges we could have solved at an earlier stage. So I think looking at this from a futuristic point of view would help more than anything.
Yeah, and eyona nto is that young people are in the forefront of this discussion. Kube khona policies. You know, ndiyafuna into yokubana siye evenkileni. What do you have to say? Ingaba wena ungumntu omtsha ulindele ntoni kwintetho kamongameli azawuthi ayenze Thursday kuyo iSona. Masithi qhwi evenkileni. When we come back, our presenter uAzaria Khoza uzabe edlala indlebe kwakunye nabantu abatsha sive into yokubana bona bathini. But now let's go to a break.
Uma ngabe usanda ungena mbukeli asikufihla ukuthi akuseyinsuku zatshwala ukuthi umongameli walapha eNingizimu Afrika uMr Cyril Ramaphosa athule inkulumo yakhe mayelana nesimo sesizwe, i-State of the Nation Address. Mbukeli noma ngabe usemqanduli ezonke izizwe eFosloras noma ngabe ukuphi la ukhona, inkulumo kamongameli iyakuthinta nawe lapho ekhaya. Namhlanje ke siyithimba le-Expressions silapha eNyuvesi yaseJohannesburg to speak to some of the students ukuthi ngabe bona balindeleni kule nkulumo kamongameli ezobe eyithula maduze nje. Wena ingabe ulindeleni kwinkulumo kamongameli? What are some of the pressing issues that you think he should be addressing?
Currently, I think the pressing issues should be with higher institutions, higher learning institutions, how there needs to be more funding put for the students. There needs to be more universities also built in that case.
With the problems I've faced with funding, it's the gap, a huge problem actually that we're facing. It's the gap in the missing middle class. So the problem there is that your NSFAS doesn't fund you because your parents do not earn outside the bracket. Yeah. But then your parents can't afford to actually pay for your education. So that is the gap that I want the president to address.
What are some of the key issues that you feel that he should be addressing?
Another one that is pressing for me is pertaining to the Madlanga Commission, because remember in the previous year in July, he had another State of the Nation address where he then launched the Madlanga Commission following the allegations of fraud within South Africa's security sector. However, another overarching issue that hasn't truly been addressed is the fact that despite the number of commissions that we can have, we lack focus on the fact that these commissions are not legally binding. So we can have these allegations, we can have this number of witnesses, and we can have all of these proceedings happen, and then none of the final findings of the commission can be legally binding. So why do we have the commission to begin with? Student accommodation crisis. Every year we have students that are stranded or blocked from registering just because they had student debt from the previous year. And this is because in many universities, students that are NSFAS beneficiaries are told to live on on-campus residences. On-campus residences do not offer rooms at NSFAS rates, leaving students with a lot of debt that hinders them from registering in the following year. So it becomes a problem of accessibility, creating new universities, but also making sure that NSFAS has the capacity to fund all of these students.
Do you think it's all just talk? Do you think mhlambe uhulumeni wethu walapha eNingizimu Afrika akasebenzi ngokuzikhandla enough to make sure ukuthi izinto esithenjiswa zona kusona uma kuqala unyaka are being implemented?
We have a problem when it comes to implementation. Yeah. I mean, our government, they produce a lot of policies in terms of one of the policies with the NHI bill, which is, it talked about the health facilities that now a certain tax bracket will be able to utilize private healthcare and all those things. However, I think there was also a way they did not. They were not able to explain as to how does that go about, because now you'd find people go for private facilities, but they are chased away again. And I think that's another thing that's a very imperative matter that the president should also address and try to explain to people how does that thing work about, because now we go to those private facilities and then we don't get what has been promised by the president in terms of that. Yes.
Our president, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, did declare GBV as a national crisis. Siswami, do you think ukuthi GBV is one of those key pressing issues that umongameli wethu should address, especially njengomuntu wesifazane residing here in South Africa?
Well, I believe it is a pressing issue that should be taken seriously. The fact that it's been a year since it has been declared as a national crisis, yet nothing has been implemented, is a huge concern, considering how many cases we see on a daily basis, not even a monthly basis. Every day there's something new. Every day someone is being posted. Every day someone has died. So I believe this is something that needs to be taken into consideration. This has to be implemented, and more policies need to hold the people that are doing this accountable.
Do you think that mhlambe Sona izodlala indima ekuthini abantu bathatha ziphi inqumo when it comes to voting?
We need, I think, more incubation hubs, launch pads for a lot of youth to actually find ways into enlighten themselves so that they can make better decisions when they vote. Because it's no use voting when we know we need something, but it's useful voting when we have something and we are knowledgeable and we get educated policies and regulations about it.
I think it plays a significant role. You are asking whether will it have an effect on our voting? Yes, definitely, it has already. That's how we ended up in the GNU. If it wasn't the case, we wouldn't have been there at all. This is something that hasn't happened in the previous years. Happened because People are tired of the promises. I'm going to bring up unemployment, pressing issue in this country. And I think mostly I would say GPV, then unemployment, in the sense that you are recruiting us. You know, you want Black South Africans to be educated, you know, because that's something we've never had. I'm going to bring up the apartheid area. We've never had that opportunity, and now it's come up. But where are we going? Where are we leading to? You want to have Black students have PhDs, but where are you taking us? Are you taking us to an internship that's going to tell us that this is the stipend that you're earning? To do what with it?
What are some of the key pressing issues that you believe umongameli wethu should address?
Since we're the future of South Africa, I like him to touch based on the level of dropouts that are happening, like in our high schools, and it's a fact that like almost like 40% of people who start school in grade 1 up until grade 12, they don't finish school. So what is he going to implement into those people who have like dropped out of high schools and Batalema, Shopping, Ekonini?
This is Expressions right here on SABC 1, SABC Plus, and SABC Lihayo. Ungaindawo siyabuya.
Welcome back. You're still tuning into Expressions right here on SABC 1. Saqhubeka Mbukeli enengxoxo ebaluleke kakhulu njengoko Mbukeli kungentsuku zatywala ngaphambi kokuba umongameli weli Mbukeli athethe kuyo iSona. Sisabuza ke umbuzo ongagungqiyo Mbukeli apho ekhaya into bangaba zeziphi izinto ezingundoqo urhulumente weli funeka into kubana azicacise ca kuyo iSona 2025. We still have 2026 Xabe. We still have our guest uCobani Nzongana and also Nzali Mathebula. And Zali Mathebula, on our second segment, we had a very powerful insert. We saw young people, you know, outlining some of the key issues abafuna ezichinche, from NSFAS delays of indaba funding to Madlanga Commission, which has really exposed crime up in South Africa. There are many issues abanabacha abajongene nazo, and Sona is always seen as this vision statement. How should young people measure the success of the Sona 2026?
So I don't think young people should measure the success of the Sona, because the Sona itself is a discussion. It is quite abstract as compared to the pragmatism that has to be put into the policies, the implementations, and the strategies that we need in order for us to drive the country forward. So I do believe that statistics is one way in which younger people should then look at the practicalities of what's happening on the ground. I think that's the best way to actually measure the effectiveness of everything that's being discussed in each and every Sona annually, because I think that's important. But most definitely, I think one way to also do it is to ensure that they measure the impact of the voter changing behavior in the country. I think that's one way to
measuring the impact. I actually like that, because you are on the ground with young people. Uyazazi istruggles zabo. Esiyaqonda ukubana kuzawuthethwa apha, but umbuzo ngokuba ithemba lomntu omtsha lilelephi kwipolitiki, because we also have the government elections coming up.
Abantu abatsha baluzile ithemba kwipolitics. Inyani leyo. Now ithi ke ngokulondo leyo laa nto kuthiwa i-grassroots activism, abantu funeka baye kwii-communities, bathathe ii-communities, balwe nee-communities ukuba mazifumane ezinto ezidingo zazo ezizifunayo. Loo nto leyo ibalulekileyo, laa nto kuthiwa yi-community activism. So ibalulekile loo nto leyo. So abantu basenalo ngokuyinto ixesha ulutsha into yoba kuzawuthetha inkokheli phaa ithi ndizawunenzela le nto nale nto nale nto. Abanaxesha laloo nto. Abantu bafuna iinkokheli phakathi kwabo ezababonisa uba ngokusenza le nto ukwenzele kuzaliseke le nto. So ithi ke ngokuloo nto leyo abantu abatsha bazawuthi bawuvuya xa besiva umongameli sithi yonke abantu abangabaqeshi kunyanzelekile i-90% ibe ngamemi baseMzantsi Afrika, u-10% ingangabemi bangaphandle. Lezo zinto zizinto ezawuvuyisa abantu abatsha, because abantu abatsha bahleli ngaphandle, bane-degrees, bane-PhDs, abafundi, abanamisebenzi. Into bazayivuyela abantu abatsha into yoba athi urhulumente i-army i-Department of Health zizawusetyenziswa ezo ndawo uthatha absorbe abantu abangaphangeliyo bahambe bayonceda urhulumente
32 years later basalindile abantu abatsha
kakhulu.
Hey, inzima kakhulu. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for joining us nawe Enzali Mbukeli. The discussion continues kuba kaloku silinde ngamehlo abomvu into yokubana umongameli weli uzawuthetha asithini na. We are leaving you with Ubongani Mkhatshwa with a song titled I'm Blessed. Good night.
Oh yes, I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. The Lord has been good to me. I've got nothing to lose. Mangina ye, ngitfola konke. Oh yes, I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. The Lord has been good to me. I've got nothing to lose. Mangina ye, ngitfola konke. I'm blessed going out. I'm blessed coming in. I'm blessed in the city. I'm blessed in the country. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Oh yes, I'm blessed.